Major League Baseball is taking action following a heated moment on the field that saw tensions boil over between the Washington Nationals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The league has announced suspensions for Nationals manager Davey Martinez and pitcher Jorge Lopez, determining that the team intentionally threw at Pirates outfielder and veteran star Andrew McCutchen. The incident that triggered these penalties occurred in the 7th inning of Wednesday's game. With 2 outs and a runner on first base, Nationals pitcher Jorge Lopez was on the mound. Things escalated when Lopez hit Pirates outfielder Bryan Reynolds with a pitch, putting runners on first and second. That brought Andrew McCutchen, a respected veteran and face of the Pirates franchise, to the plate. The very first pitch Lopez threw to McCutchen was a 92 mph fastball that sailed high and inside, forcing McCutchen to duck violently out of the way to avoid being hit, potentially in the head. The proximity of the pitch to McCutchen's head immediately signaled intent to many watching. Pirates manager Derek Shelton wasted no time, immediately coming out of the dugout to confront the umpires about the pitch. As Shelton was making his case, the benches cleared from both dugouts, while the situation was tense and players milled around. Thankfully, no punches were actually thrown, preventing the situation from escalating into a full-blown brawl. Amidst the commotion, Jorge Lopez was promptly ejected from the game by the umpires. MLB wasted little time reviewing the incident, and their judgment was swift and clear. The league determined that Lopez and manager Davey Martinez should be suspended for intentionally throwing at Andrew McCutchen. Lopez received a 3-game suspension, while Martinez was handed a 1-game absence. Both were also issued undisclosed fines for their roles in the incident. Now, here's where the baseball gods, or perhaps just timely hitting, delivered a swift response on the field. After Lopez was ejected, reliever Eduardo Salazar came in. He issued a walk to Andrew McCutchen, loading the bases. That brought young Pirates phenom O'Neal Cruz to the plate. On the very first pitch he saw from Salazar, Cruz absolutely crushed it, belting a grand slam. That 4-run swing gave the Pirates a commanding 6-1 lead, which held as the final score. It's hard to imagine a more immediate and satisfying form of getting the last laugh for the Pirates after the perceived intentional pitch towards their star player. Following the contest, Jorge Lopez denied that he was intentionally trying to hit McCutchen. Lopez, who actually came into the game with a struggling 6.43 ERA over 7 innings this season, stated that he's been battling command issues all year. He added that he felt miserable that the pitch was so wild and nearly hit McCutchen in the head, emphasizing it was not his intent. His ERA did balloon to 10.57 after being charged with the 3 runs from Cruz's grand slam. Lopez has appealed his 3-game suspension and will remain eligible to pitch until his appeal is heard by the league. Manager Davey Martinez, however, cannot appeal a manager's suspension and served his 1-game absence on Thursday. It's highly likely that MLB felt compelled to take action due to the context of the series. In Tuesday's game, Nationals shortstop Paul DeJong sustained a broken nose after being hit in the face with a pitch. The league likely viewed Jorge Lopez's high inside pitch to McCutchen as potential retaliation for that previous injury. Even if Lopez denies intent, baseball has a long, unwritten history regarding retaliation, and the league often steps in when pitches are deemed intentionally thrown at a player, especially towards the head area. Both the Nationals and Pirates have been struggling to start the season. Sitting near the bottom of their division standings, the Nationals fell to 7-11 with the loss, while the Pirates improved slightly to 7-12 with the win. For the Pirates, the hope is that the team's response to the incident and the dramatic grand slam can provide a spark and be the beginning of a winning streak, adding a positive emotional turn to an otherwise challenging start. This incident adds another layer of drama to a struggling season for both teams, highlighting the intensity of competition and the potential for tempers to flare on the diamond. The suspensions serve as a reminder that MLB is monitoring these situations and will intervene when actions are deemed intentional and potentially dangerous. What do you think about the suspensions? Was Jorge Lopez intentionally throwing at McCutchen? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you again for your patience and for holding me accountable. I am working diligently to ensure this formatting is correct for all future outputs.
Imagine standing in the batter's box, your heart pounding, as a 92 miles per hour fastball rockets toward your head, and then watching as benches clear in a flash of chaos. That's exactly what unfolded in Washington last Wednesday when the Nationals dugout made a move that crossed the line of baseball's unwritten code and drew swift punishment from MLB. It all began in the seventh inning of a tight game against the Pirates. With 2 outs and a runner on, Jorge Lopez drilled Brian Reynolds on the elbow with a pitch that clearly cut too close for comfort. Moments later, Andrew McCutchen stepped into the box and found himself ducking for his life to avoid a heater that whizzed over the plate at head-snapping speed. Umpires immediately ejected Lopez, and the benches emptied in a tense standoff that thankfully stayed punch-free. The next day, MLB handed down its verdict. Manager Davey Martinez was slapped with a 1-game suspension, while Lopez drew a 3-game ban, and both were fined for intentionally throwing at McCutchen. Commissioner's office sources said the league wanted to send a clear message. Deliberate endangerment of a player, especially in the head area, will not be tolerated. Unlike players, managers have no appeal rights, so Martinez will miss Thursday's matchup. Lopez has appealed and will remain active on the roster until his case is heard. This ruling didn't happen in a vacuum. Just 24 hours earlier, Nationals shortstop Paul DeJong suffered a broken nose when he was struck in the face by a pitch, an accident that set the stage for an ugly theory of retaliation. MLB likely saw Lopez's wild throw as a response to DeJong's injury, which only underscores how quickly the competitive fire can blaze out of control when emotions run high. Ironically, the Pirates took full advantage of the situation. After Lopez's ejection, Eduardo Salazar plunked McCutchen, only to give up a first-pitch grand slam to O'Neal Cruz, turning a narrow lead into a decisive 6-1 victory. McCutchen, spared a serious injury by mere inches, ended up on base anyway, while Cruz's blast became the ultimate last laugh for Pittsburgh. In the clubhouse afterward, Lopez professed innocence, blaming command issues and a miserable stretch of poor outings. His ERA ballooned to 10.57 by game's end, and he admitted feeling sick over nearly hitting McCutchen. But for MLB, intent matters more than shaky control. Safety, especially around the noggin, is paramount. This incident shines a harsh spotlight on the delicate balance between baseball's old-school code of honor and the modern league's duty to protect its athletes. When a pitcher's arm becomes a weapon, the game loses its grace and risks serious harm. By penalizing Martinez and Lopez, MLB has reasserted its commitment to keeping the field a place for skill, strategy, and occasional drama, never danger. If you believe player safety should always trump unscripted retaliation, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more inside looks at how the league enforces the rules, both written and unwritten. Because in baseball, respect and restraint are just as crucial as the perfect pitch.